Sunday morning. Steve Cates, otherwise known as Dr. Sky. One good friend, one smart guy, and tell us what you have in mind for this Sunday morning.
Well, good morning, John. Good morning, Sunday morning to everyone. But here, John, we talk a lot of space stories, but here's one that almost sounds like science fiction. The Earth, from time to time, pulls in some of these small asteroids, and they get classified as mini-moons. Well, here's the headline story this week. There's a small little asteroid, maybe 100 feet in diameter. It was discovered in Hawaii back in 2016, and its Hawaiian name, here we go, and I'm not an expert in the Hawaiian language, but I'll do the best I can. It's officially known as a.k.a. And if you translate that from Hawaiian, it means an oscillating celestial object. It rotates every 28 minutes, not going to hurt the Earth by any means. But what's interesting is that China has sent a space probe there called Tianwen-2, and it's actually orbiting this particular little body. Hopefully in the next few months, John, it'll scoop up some material from it, bring it back to Earth, because guess what? Many believe, astronomers, scientists, that this is actually a piece of the moon that was blasted off the surface of the moon maybe millions of years ago through other big impacts that hit the moon.
All right,
so this is a big news
in case I didn't hear, how big is this thing?
Only about 100 feet in diameter. Isn't that incredible? A little object, 100 feet in diameter.
Yeah.
Gets caught up in kind of the Earth's, gravity. But what's amazing is the Chinese spacecraft, John, is actually going to try to scoop up something. It's going to orbit it for a while to make that precise moment in time. But some believe there's a large crater on the moon called Giordano Bruno. And some believe an asteroidal impact hit it maybe millions, maybe billions of years ago. And we're trying to identify what this material is, but it's two stories in one. That the Earth occasionally gets these mini-moons that lock into our orbit, and then they move away. Interesting stuff from not only space, but also from astronomy.
That's interesting. Well, what else is on your mind? Now, with the dust they pick up from that secondary asteroid, will they be able to tell if it was part of the moon?
I don't know for sure, John. I think chemical analysis, when we went to the moon, we brought back about 840 pounds of moon rocks. And what we found out there is maybe many of those moon rocks are not exactly like that of the Earth. But in this particular case, analyzing it, they will try to find out if there's any facsimile, of course, the organic compounds in there. Because apparently where the moon came from, it wasn't out of the Pacific Ocean, as we maybe heard in school when we were younger. It was an object called theoretically an object the size of Mars that hit the Earth and pulled out this big blob of material, thus forming the moon itself. So you don't know. We'll have to wait and see what the analysis is of this little object called Kamo-o-Aliwa. Hard enough to say twice, don't you think?
Well, I mean, they should make another name, maybe Son of Moon. Doesn't that sound better, Son of Moon?
Actually, it could be Daughter of Moon, too.
Yes,
we don't
absolutely.
Know, but
depends if you like daughters or sons better. Now, what else is the other mysteries of the day?
Well, John, here's something else. It goes back to Earth with companies that are developing space technology, whether it's science fiction or not. Let's start off with a company called Space Mirror. The FCC, this is amazing, just approved Space Mirror, put in these particular big mirrors in space that you'd unfurl, like, a big sheet of aluminum foil type. And that its purpose would beam down sunlight down onto the Earth in a 3-mile area, swaths of material or pattern on the Earth. Now, this is very controversial because the people in astronomy say, oh, no, hell no, we don't want to do that. You're going to ruin the quality of the nighttime sky. But, John, isn't it possible if for certain situations, maybe military purposes or who knows what, you could actually beam down sunlight in a 3-mile area when the rest of the sky is dark and the rest of the Earth is dark? It's a concept, maybe goes science fiction now, but you never know. There may be practical purposes. What say you?
Well, you're absolutely right. There could be some practical purposes. Now, I listen to you every Saturday night, or Sunday morning, and every Friday night for Saturday morning from 12 to 2 Eastern Time. And thank you for doing it. And you really, I guess, you move my mind around.
Well, John, we talk about the mysteries of the universe and also jump into topics of American exceptionalism, obviously the trademark of this particular station, Truth, Justice, and the American Way. But one closing story that I failed to mention here in the short time is another company called Solar Storms. And that's the company called Storm Wall is actually their name. Their purpose would be to put up spacecraft up in the geosynchronous area. That's way up there where the 22,000 miles where the satellites stay, the big ones, in Earth's, stability. And they may inject something called barium and other compounds into the Earth, into what we call the magnetoshield, this big magneto field around the Earth that protects the Earth. Why would they do it? Because their theory states that over time, it could, and I use the word could, maybe deflect some of those solar storms that are being pummeled here when we get pummeled from space. Now, that sounds real science fiction, but you never know, John. I mean, look at 100 years since aviation, more than that. Maybe the things that we think today are science fiction, but it's a real serious company that has some serious plans of maybe doing something to limit the amount of solar storm damage because what, John? Everything is electronic, and we can't afford to lose the grid or the importance of satellites.
Well, thank you, Steve Cates, and we'll catch up with you again real soon.
Thank you, John. Have a good Sunday.